Welcome to Bill and my Dollar Tree flan recipe. What is flan, you say? Flan is like a creme brulee, but the sugar on top is not hard. It's a caramel sauce. There's a vanilla custard underneath, and it's Spanish in origin. It's Spanish in origin, but it's pretty big in Mexico. So what we're going to do is make it on the stove and then finish it off in the oven. You can go to the store and buy, hello, you have to wait your turn for the flan. The flan, excuse me, flan. You won't stop. You can go to the store and buy a package of a powder for flan. You just mix it with milk and then you put it in the refrigerator like Jell-O. And that's what you get, something that tastes like Jell-O. The actual recipe for flan is involved and it uses a lot of milk and a lot of eggs, and then you got to give it a water bath, and that is really too much for me. This is sort of the mid-range, where we just make a little syrup on the stove top, and then we put everything in a pie plate, put it in the oven, no water baths involved, and then we take it out and see what we have. Now, what I'm going to do is just simple ingredients. We need 3 eggs. We need a can of condensed sweetened cream or dairy milk. What is it, condensed milk?
You want to show it to us?
Yeah. This is the Dollar Tree. This is the condensed sweetened milk, but this is creamer. It's not exactly like the condensed milk.
Closer? No, up.
Up?
No, towards the camera lens so they can see. Okay.
All right. So this is going to be a surprise to me because this is not sweetened condensed milk. This is sweetened condensed creamer. It's the only thing they sell at the Dollar Tree for condensed creamer.
What brand is it?
This is Pampa.
I hope it works. You're going to do all this work.
It's hardly any work.
All right.
All right. Now this is the can of evaporated milk. Now you can't get Carnation at the Dollar Tree, but they do sell another can of condensed milk. But this is the one I had on hand, and it's going to expire, so shake well and use.
Yeah.
All right. Then all you need is a cup of white sugar. This is Dollar Tree sugar.
That's the Azul sugar, right?
The Azul, yeah. And then we need some a tablespoon, not a teaspoon, a tablespoon of vanilla extract. Okay.
So that's the imitation vanilla extract from the Dollar Tree.
Yep. So I'm trying to use as much Dollar Tree as possible to see what we get.
Well, that's all Dollar Tree products because I even buy those eggs I got at the Dollar Tree.
Yeah, Dollar Tree eggs. And then we're going to cover the pie plate when it all goes in the oven with Dollar Tree Reynolds wrap.
Yeah, name brand, but I did pick that up at the Dollar Tree.
So the first step is to make a syrup out of the sugar. 1 cup of sugar goes in. Now some recipes call for a little water in. We're just going to go with the directions that I came across. It just says put the sugar in and put it on medium-low heat until you get a caramel sauce. Basically it melts and turns a little bit of brown.
So you're not adding anything to that, just dry sugar right now?
Dry sugar right now, which is going to give me a little bit of freaky sense because I don't know what we're going to get.
Like
usually add a little bit of water. But there were no directions for water, so we're going to start this off, see what we get. And then we can add the water if things look like they're going to go sideways on us. It may take a while because you're just going to reduce this to a syrup. It should turn into water by itself, a syrupy water. Oh, I preheated the oven to 350. Alright, I was not really getting this to melt, so I did add a little bit of water to it, because I didn't want it to turn into one big hard ball of sugar. Yeah, you worried? You worried, Mr. Bryn? Me too. Alright, so I'm getting it to melt now.
So how much water do you think you put in? Just like 1/8 of a cup?
1/8 of a cup? No, I probably put in less than a teaspoon at this point. You know, so it's probably maybe a tablespoon at the most.
looked more.
Yeah, well, I don't want it to turn into. I want it to get into something soupy. I don't want it to get too thick and become. What would that be like? What kind of candy?
Toffee.
Toffee. Yeah. Again, this is supposed to be liquid and sort of ooze off the top of the flan when you plate it. Not be like creme brulee and be like a toffee on the top.
What are you guys doing? I don't even know why I asked that. We know. You just added more water?
Yeah, I gotta get it soupy. I want it to turn brown and be like a
Toffee.
be like a syrup.
You want it to be like syrup.
I want it to be a brown
Right.
syrup is what I'm looking for. Sweet brown syrup. I wonder if the viewers will find him as annoying as I do.
Welcome to our life.
It hasn't turned into a syrup. That's the problem.
That's definitely not syrup.
Yeah.
That's just
It's just
sugar.
sugar. Brian, you're not helping. And then it solidifies. The sugar's
Yeah.
solidified.
All right, so the azul sugar just, I think as you guys saw, just all clumped up. So we're going to give it one more shot using what? Just granulated sugar
Yeah, from a supermarket.
yep. And
Three-quarter cup of sugar and a quarter cup of water. Bring to a boil over medium.
so
Medium
this is
heat.
the same recipe
Yeah,
except
we're
for
doing a different.
except for the
Caramel
syrupy
sauce.
part, the
Yeah.
caramel sauce. So this one does say sugar and water.
Yeah, and the proportions are 3/4 to 1/4.
So we don't have proof that it was the azul sugar not melting, but that definitely, as you guys saw, was not working for us.
No.
So we're going to give this a try and see if we can turn a fail into a delicious dessert. Because Bill had already opened his other ingredients and we hate to waste them.
All right, so the sugar syrup is over medium heat, stirring constantly until it's dissolved and it begins to boil. Once it starts to look like amber, remove from heat, rest 5 seconds, add tablespoon of warm water. Okay, the azul sugar is good on cereal and in coffee, but it's not making syrup. Doesn't really. It was even with water that I had added, it was clumping.
Yeah, I saw it. It was not working.
And then as soon as it cooled off, it turned into toffee.
That's looking a little more promising.
Yep. Yeah, this is what I was hoping to find. Again, so any recipe that calls for sugar without water probably is going to be a fail.
All right, I got it recording. Is this looking better?
I'm not getting a burn color to it. I'm not getting a brown color to it yet.
No.
Yeah, this is now not good.
All right, so it doesn't matter what type of sugar. This is nuts.
This is nuts.
We can't use like maple syrup.
You know, we could. It's a lot of the maple syrup, but yeah.
Well, I meant so that you can salvage some type of dessert for yourself. Like just pour some maple syrup on the bottom and then continue on with the recipe. I think that's what you should do.
Yeah.
Because if this is how it's going, I honestly don't recommend.
I've never had a problem. I've never had a problem getting this stuff to turn.
What's going on?
I don't know. I think we're haunted. I've never not seen sugar burn to a brown color.
And we've used two different sugars.
Two different sugars, different amount of water. And I can't, and it's getting hard to put this back in the solution. So I think we're going to say enough and just go with your idea.
Yeah.
Because this is getting to be ridiculous now. The prep was only 20 minutes on the recipe.
Yeah, well, we've spent a lot more than that.
Yeah.
Then why don't we put maple syrup in the bottom and you put together the rest of it?
Yep.
Because if it tastes good and works, that'd be even easier for people.
It would be, but it'd be expensive.
You can buy maple syrup at the Dollar Tree. All right, it's going again.
I'm just going to recheck the length of time in the oven. Okay. All right, so I just verified. It's 60 minutes. It's 60 minutes that we put this in for. Think you're going to dump this out?
Please don't.
That's the way the night's been going, huh? All right, 350 degree, which might be a little too low. We'll see. For 60 minutes. Then we'll take it out, let it cool. I like to refrigerate it overnight.
All right, we'll be back in an hour.
All right, so here's the flan ready to plate. 350. I actually had it go 70 minutes before I was satisfied. 60 was not enough. It comes out still a little jiggly. You cool it and then you put it in the refrigerator for at least 4 hours. This set overnight and it's nice and firm.
I'm so excited to see what it looks like. I haven't seen it yet.
Remember, we used the pancake syrup because we couldn't make the caramel sauce.
Oh, I remember.
So it's not going to be as brown as caramel sauce. The good news is if you buy the box and you just make it like Jell-O, they give you packages of caramel sauce to put in the cups. So you don't have to go through that. So we improvise. So here we go.
Wow.
All right. So the jiggling has stopped, so it did set, which is good. This is starting to look like caramel sauce. This is the pancake syrup that's moved. So let's unplate it. Oh, first off, you want to go around the edges to loosen it up. It smells like maple syrup.
It has that consistency and the wetness on the top of flan that I've seen in restaurants and stuff. It's actually looking very good.
All right, let's see if we can do this, Billy. Okay. Now, the thing is, when you unplate the flan, the caramel sauce on the top is going to gush to the side. So do it someplace that you don't mind getting sticky. Here we go. Whoa!
Wow.
And let's see if we can unplate it. Hey!
Wow!
Almost. There we
actually looks really good.
You see, we had some of the syrup go to the
Yeah.
side a bit. We'll cut
And
that
on
side.
the top.
Yeah, and on the top. Now, if we were able to make the caramel syrup, this would be darker. There's a little syrup there. Okay, let's plate it up and taste it. It's a gusher.
But to me, it looks like I would expect a flan to look. So the consistency is looking good.
It's slicing up.
That's a big piece.
I love flan.
Good thing.
Who doesn't love flan?
Ness is down there waiting for some too.
Yeah. Oh, it plates up like flan. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Move this out.
Yeah, I want to show everybody a little bit closer up. I am impressed, Bill, because that's an inexpensive recipe and it's very fancy.
All right, I'm not happy that we don't have the caramel sauce, although we do have some of the coloring. But it is high fructose corn syrup in the pancake stuff, so it should taste sweet. So let's taste for texture. Now, we didn't use a water bath, which usually flan, you take the custard and bake it in a pan with water around the bottom to get it nice and soft. Well, let's see what it tastes like. Has a flan taste to it. It has nice consistency. It's soft. It's definitely sweet because of the pancake syrup. I think if you used real syrup, maple syrup, it would be very tasty too.
Right, because we used imitation
Yeah.
syrup, which is what the Dollar Tree carries. Although around Christmas, I did find the little bottles of the
real
real maple syrup.
Well, maple syrup is
And
expensive.
that would have been enough, though. You could have spent $1.25 and it would be enough for one recipe.
Oh yeah, I would think so.
Yes.
And you can do this in small ramekin cups and do the same thing. Everybody turns over their ramekin cup.
No.
But I did it in one big pie.
So did our disaster stay a dud or turn into a delish?
If I was blindfolded, I would say this is it. This is flan. So it's good.
Good.
We saved it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Bon appetit.
That was French.